Welcome everyone to the Sunny Coast very own podcast called the Referral Wave, Riding the Tide of Success. My name's Tony Cross, and by day I've got a business called Drive Connect Car Brokers. But today we're running the podcast, and I've got the great Joe here with me from Encite Business Coaching. And welcome along, Joe.
Thanks, Tony. It's great to be here.
Yeah, good. So look, let's get into it. Tell us a little bit. We've known each other. We've been talking for half an hour previously. We've known each other a bit from a past life. We've been catching up. But look, tell us all about what you're up to now.
So Encite Partners is a collaborative team of business coaches, and we all operate with an aligned intent. We have a real commitment to entrepreneurs. And we've been coaching businesses to produce extraordinary results for 10 years now. This is our 10th year running together. So we've got two other coaches in Southeast Queensland and another one in Sydney. I think that's a little bit unique about us, is that there is a team of us. It's not just me, one-man band. We've all run businesses before as well. So we understand the highs, the lows. We know how lonely it can be. And essentially we help design and then implement and follow through on the strategy for our clients' businesses. And we know that business doesn't exist in a vacuum. You know, we're committed that people live full lives and that the business functions to serve their lifestyle, not rob it. So we don't just look at the business. We're trying to help people understand how does that fit into their life. And then depending on the goals and what the business needs and what industry they're in, we try to match the right advisor to that business. We tend to specialize a little bit. We can all do lots of things, but we do like to specialize. And my favorite things to coach on are revenue chain, helping people make lots of money. I love that part of the business. The strategy, and also performance and leadership. I'm really keen to help as many businesses as possible implement integrity in their businesses. So
fantastic. Well, it sounds like you've got a great team there. Now, look, going back to when we first met, to add some credibility to your business coach. So you were involved in a startup that went well. You since got out of that startup, moved on to something else. So, you know what I mean? From my experience knowing you, you've got some really good runs on the board there. And we first met through kids starting school.
Yes.
So it's been a journey of entrepreneurship as well as being a mum and juggling both sides of the fence, hasn't it?
Yeah. I definitely understand this idea of the business doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Hence the reason you're in the 9:30. You're at the 9:30.
Exactly. The 9:30 BNI is awesome.
9:30 chapter.
Yeah.
So look, how did you? Because it wasn't me that got you involved in BNI.
No.
If I had known you were wandering around, I would have grabbed you, invited you. What led you to join BNI?
We had a big change in our family circumstances. My husband's always travelled interstate, but he's got a huge year this year. I needed to just pivot my business a little bit and make it very local. You know, I'd been traveling myself and trying to do lots of things, and I realized I just needed to hunker down. I've got two teenagers. Anyone who has teenagers know you need to be more present and conserve your energy a little bit for that. And I ran into Kim McLaughlin actually at netball one day. Funny how our kids, and she mentioned BNI, and I was very reluctant, honestly, because I'd tried before and it didn't quite work out when I was in Sydney. But she talked about this chapter in Adelaide where there was business coaches passing millions of dollars between themselves. And I just thought, wow, okay, I'm intrigued. I should really take another look at BNI and see what I can do there. And I've since seen industries, like companies working together within industries. It's pretty cool.
That's, run into Kim. I know Kim well. Run into Kim at netball. Well, there you go. I'm glad I worked that out. All right, very good. I'll have to talk to her about that. Yeah. So, that's great. And you haven't been in BNI that long, have you?
I only joined in October last year. So this 5 months.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about how you've used BNI so far in your journey to enhance your networking?
Well, BNI is my only networking right now. I have tried the chamber before, but I just found it a little bit overwhelming, and it wasn't quite the relational style I was looking for, really. When I came along to Alliance, which is my chapter, I just found that they have such a generous and welcoming energy. It really felt like I was coming home when I came along to visit.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a rewarding way to get out and about on the coast, to be honest. Yeah, so joining in October, I thought it would take a really long time to build up relationships, but actually I've worked with a couple of the people in the chapter and they've shared the good results they've gotten. So the referrals are actually starting to flow. I just got one today, which was very exciting.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It is a bit of a slow burn for something like coaching because it takes a little bit to get to understand what it is and to trust, know, like, and trust as we've been discussing.
Yeah.
Um, but it's been a worthwhile investment for sure.
Yeah, that's good because we did have that conversation before we started recording, didn't we? Like we were talking about your chapter, and sometimes you get people like a Sparky or a trade that'll come in and just fire straight away.
Man, I hired the Sparky immediately. I've used them like 3 times already since I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah, I know it happens like that, doesn't it?
yeah.
But yeah, so well, that's great that you've hit the ground running. So
So
fantastic.
far, so far, so good.
So far, so good. Yeah. Oh, well, you'll be fine. So how have you used BNI to solve any problems you've had in your business, like the network?
In the business, I had an interesting one. I had a client actually who was trying to put together some compelling offers for landscapers and gardeners and the like for their business. So I asked Jack, who was the gardener in our chapter, if he would take a call with this guy to for him to bounce off the ideas and sort of sanity check them. And he said yes. So I mean, BNI, I wouldn't have expected that to be a side benefit of joining BNI,
Yeah.
but it's also delivering benefit to my clients that are outside BNI. It's been good.
Yeah, well, that's good. Jack's a lovely person.
He's great.
I can see Jack doing that. So
Yeah.
good on him. Um, I know you've only been in BNI since October, but have you got a standout story so far from your journey?
Um, you talk about success, right? That's the question is about success. I mean, the fact that I've had referrals, that's already, I think that's amazing. I've been in other networking things before for years and not had a derived business. So I'm very happy with that so far. But I think for success, thinking about success, I mostly work from home. A lot of my stuff is done online. I mean, I can work with the guys locally, but for a lot of people, it's easier online. So to be able to have somewhere I can go and dress up and be all of who I am, as a parent, my kids don't really appreciate all of who I am. So it's nice to be able to go someplace once a week, beyond the mum, the wife, the hobby farmer, and be a contribution. That for me is success. And I got a room full of people that are listening to me. They allow me to contribute to their business. They send their network to me. I mean, that is supremo success in my world. Yeah, and being nominated as president starting in April is hilarious in some ways, but maybe the leadership team saw something in me. And I think it'll be an opportunity for me at least to be able to use some of my skills with leadership and performance and systems and help more people. So yeah,
Maybe
all that
they're
success.
maybe they're putting your business coaching and leadership skills to the ultimate test. They're like, right,
I know, right? Get up there and prove it, Joe, that you can do what you said.
yeah, let's
I'm happy to be tested.
before this woman even renews after a year, like
Yeah, exactly.
let's just
Take
put
a
her on.
7 month review. You're going to be like tested as the president.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, right, let's just see if she's got the medal. Jump up there on the throne.
Right?
I love it. I can't wait to come along. I'm going to come to the first one.
Oh, great. No pressure.
Um, that's fantastic. So given your journey with BNI to date, we've talked about a few of the stories. What's one bit of advice you'd give to anyone listening to this podcast?
I've got a few, but I think my main one would be BNI as a system. So get your head around that system as fast as you can. It is a lot to take in at first. I felt like I was drinking from a fire hose with all the things and
Yeah,
everything there is to get across, but that's what we're buying. We're buying the system. And it's proven over decades across countries
yeah,
that that is a proven system to get warm leads into your business. So do the training, get your MSP training done properly. Don't just tick and flick it. Do it with curiosity and try to understand how things work and how they apply to your business. Because if you operate within the system with integrity, I think all the members will see how you operate in business because I I'm a firm believer that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So that's really what's on display is the way you show up in BNI. Um, in this age of automation and AI, being a master of systems isn't just important for BNI, it's important for all business. It's imperative. It's where you can't start automating or use AI or do any of that tech stuff unless you've got a system that works. So it's good practice.
Some great words there. I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk to you as a newish member. And you said get the MSB done properly. Um,
Yep.
great, great words. Did you find that when you had completed the MSP, that BNI and the systems made more sense?
Yeah, 100%. I knew where things were going, why they were doing things the way they were doing it.
Yeah.
Nothing felt weird. It was just, yep, that's right. Or hey, why aren't we following the system here? Did you know there's a system for that? Just no one needs to reinvent the wheel. Like we all have roles there as volunteers. You don't need to stress about that because there's already a system. You just take the script, do the thing. Let's all make it easier for ourselves.
And it's funny because knowing you like I do, I'm sure at some point when you first joined BNI before you'd done the MSP, you probably sat there and went, and I did the same. You sit there and go, why are we doing it like this? Like we could do that or we could do this. But it's funny that when you do that MSP and you work out how it all comes together, then it does make sense. And all of a sudden I went from, we should be doing this too. Hey, don't change that. It's perfect the way it is. It does that and getting that passport to success done and talking to some of those mentors within your group, it really just brings home and it makes the experience better for yourself and it also makes it quicker. You were saying then how, it's all about systems. You got it all right. It makes you more confident and people see what you're doing. Right. But that's what it's supposed to do, right? All of a sudden you're standing up there, you're following the BNI systems and what's put in place, and people see that you're articulate, people see that you're into it, and that gives you credibility, right?
Instantly.
Yeah.
And it's all about getting a return on investment, return on effort. If you're not going to do it properly, you're not going to get the return. So,
Yeah, it makes you wonder how many people that don't do the renewal or lose interest or whatever the case may be. I mean, you never ultimately know how much time they put into learning what it was about. But
yeah.
you often think, well, did you really go through it enough and give it everything? Are you unfairly blaming BNI like for something
Mm.
that you didn't put enough effort into? We also talked, and I'm just going to go back to this too. We also talked before we got started about the importance of getting the right members in chapters too.
Yeah.
And I know again since October, but you've had a lot of exposure to different networks and scenarios over the course of your business life journey. But it's
Yeah.
important that though you get the right people, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, having someone who doesn't want to do things and follow the rules, they're not going to be the right person for BNI. If they don't want to show up every week, it's not the right person for BNI.
Yeah,
If it's optional for them, they're not the right person for BNI. And one of the other things I say to people is, look, you need to be ready with a growth plan because you will get referrals. If you follow the system, you will get those referrals and your business will fill up. So you already need to know what you're going to do next. What's your next step going to be? Because there's no point joining and filling up and leaving because then you turn off the tap.
yeah.
It doesn't mean it's going to continue, there's a lot to think about, and you definitely want the right people in there operating from the values, and makes it better for everybody.
Talk to me quickly about
Yeah.
your one-to-ones, what you do in your one-to-ones. You told me this before. I thought this was a cracker.
I have been giving people an experience of coaching because a lot of people haven't had a coach before,
Yeah,
and it does take a lot of courage to get a coach, especially in business.
yeah,
So I really delve quite deeply into where are people at, what are they up to. Even the visitors that come through, I took on phoning all the visitors and I talked to them about what's their goals and what are they doing and how would BNI fit. Um, it's a joy for me to talk business with people, but also to be able to make a contribution rather than just so you play tennis on the weekends. And I mean that's all important,
yeah, yeah.
but it doesn't help people understand what I do.
Yeah, I thought that was a great way to do a one-to-one, like just delving into, yeah, delving into that side of it. So they're getting a bit of experience about obviously what you do as well, but they're getting a little bit out of it at the same time. I thought that was great.
I think it's probably confronting sometimes. It can be a
My,
lot.
some of it might be too far the other way. Very good. So look, you know, I mean, obviously, your coaching business has been around for 10 years now.
Yeah.
What's next for the coaching business?
Well, there's two main things. One of the things when I realized when I started BNI, I mean, having to say at 45 seconds what you do and who you do it for is amazing practice to get your marketing right. And I did realize pretty quickly that it's very hard to sell business coaching or to teach someone else to sell it who maybe doesn't understand it, never had it. So I invented a new product line, a new service line called the Quick and Dirty Business Plan, which people really seem to love because I think one, it's easy and affordable. It's $500. It's designed just for small businesses up to 3 people. And I can talk about it really easily. Everyone understands what I'm saying. It's pretty self-explanatory. And I do a workshop with people for 2 hours and they come out of there crystal clear about what they're doing, what their business is, who they do it for, 1 year, 3 year, 10-year plans with next quarter, what do I have to do to hit that plan? So that's been amazing. And I've had some of the guys take that on from the chapter and then talk about it and what they got out of it. So like I said, referrals have started coming in that way. I think it's important when you join BNI to think about what are you going to talk about and what have you got to offer for that audience? Because we mainly have in the past worked with big companies. So that's been very cool. I can't wait to work with more people and just, follow them up with quarterly reviews and things like that. And the second thing is AI. We're, as a team, really investigating what's possible with AI. How do we leverage systems? We're looking at our own business and then how we could apply that in our clients' businesses. And I think one thing I would say that we've learned is systems and processes are the very first step. If you're in a business and you don't have systems and processes, you cannot take advantage of technology at all. Amplifying a poorly running system or poorly performing system is going to be a nightmare. It's just going to create more problems than it solves because if it's already not working, you're just going to burn through a lot of leads or whatever area it's in, you're going to burn through it faster. So all of our engagements now include a conversation at least about what's going on with your systems, how will we prioritize this work so that later or when you're ready, you can take advantage of technology. So yeah, that's the two main things I'm working on with BNI.
That's fantastic. I like that. The quick and dirty business plan. Is that what it's? Yeah.
Quick and dirty business plan. Yep.
I like it because a lot of times I think some people get in the mold that a business coach has to be this massive, big, all-encompassing 12-month contract at thousands of dollars, whereas sometimes you just need someone short and sharp to sort of punch it between the eyes to a degree.
Pretty much.
All right, hey, the path's over here, not where you're going. Let's just get a bit focused.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. You can do it with a quick and dirty business plan.
Yeah, and I find people can't even get their numbers down or commit on paper what their goal is. It's interesting to me. But there's so much value in doing a plan. It helps you make decisions later because you go, well, does that fit my plan? No, don't do it. Entrepreneurs have 7 ideas in the shower and then they're implementing the first one by 10 a.m. You know what I mean? So the idea of having something all in one place where you can just go back to it and you could put it down even and say, maybe I'll investigate that later instead of just running hard at some new idea you've had. And then also looking at things and going, well, does that really fit in my life? And it's not until you get it on paper that you realize, oh my God, that idea might sound good on paper. But once I look at it and try to fit it in my world, it's not happening. So yeah, it's been awesome. I've really loved working with these smaller guys and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, so you don't have to have a big business with a staff of 30. You can be a solo operator. Just get the roadmap right.
Yeah, just get a roadmap and then we can do quarterly check-ins. It doesn't have to be a whole big palaver. Just trying to keep it simple. Yeah.
Yeah, good. I love it. What's the one core value that resonates with you from BNI?
Of course it's give as gain, but we'll just put that aside.
Yeah.
I think recognition, it's super important. I love the public nature of the meetings and sharing what's transpired the week before, what referrals were given, the thank you for closed business, testimonials and how I tried to invite whatever visitors, all of that discussion is really special because how many of us are running our businesses and we are recognized for anything that we do?
No,
Never.
no. Get
I
asked
mean,
why you got home late.
right? You don't get appreciated
No.
anywhere. Mostly you get complaints and problems chucked at you all day long. So I
Yeah.
think that idea of recognition at BNI is really special, really beautiful. And I'm so grateful for all the ways that the chapter members either think of me or how they can help my business. It's amazing. And values are important in business, full stop. So it's a good way to practice having values and those rituals for what does the value look like in practice. That's important to put in your business. And for lots of reasons, but if you ever want to step away from the day-to-day operations, you need to know that your staff, you can get them on board with what the values are, so they'll do it the way you want them to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's and I mean that's how we end up with that BNI family. And I mean I was having not this week, the week before, just one of those weeks, where everything's going sideways rather than forwards. And I was chatting with one of my BNI members at Sunrise, and they said, "How you going?" I said, "I just got to get to Thursday morning because that's when and my Thursday morning, I've said on this podcast before, it's a start and end of my week." And
Yeah.
this person, "Oh, you're going to be right." I said, "Yeah, I just got to get to Thursday, right? I've just got to get back to my crew and just,
Yeah.
back to that. It's just
It'll
have
breathe
a
life into
reset,
you. Yeah.
with my tribe."
So
So
good.
no, that's fantastic. Look, how apart from coming and visiting your chapter on
Mm.
9:30 Wednesday mornings at Siebel and Maroochydore, how else
Yep.
can we get in touch with you and your business?
I put together a easy little connect with me page. It's joebowyer.com, JOBOWYER.com. And on there, they can even book a time with me or email me. They can call me, LinkedIn, all those little connections are there, even my BNI profile. And also the quick and dirty business plan. There's a link there for how to book in for that.
There's a link, right?
All on the one page.
All there, just done.
Done.
I'm loving the idea of the quick and dirty business plan. How many am I allowed to do? As many
Yeah.
as I want. I got a business plan for everything. So we thought I'm going to bring the whole drawer of ideas along, and
Yeah,
we can
just do
sift.
one and then you'll be able to do the others yourself. I'll do
Don't know. I don't need any more than what I got. Joe, it's been great catching up again. It has been a
you
long
too.
time,
Yes.
and thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for
And
having me.
yeah, we'll good luck with your new presidency, and we'll all
Let's
we'll
hope
all
so.
come along and
Yeah.
visit.
Let's come along. Say hi. It'd be great.
Oh, thanks very much, Joe.